All right, ladies and gentlemen, Debbie? God, you sneaky little fox, you. How did you get in here so fast? I just messaged you. All right, we got chemtrails everywhere. It's gone crazy. But what we are going to do real quick is we are going to check out a video real quick of this manifesto that this guy supposedly had. One of my great mods behind the scenes let me know that this guy had a manifesto, which is like why he did things and whatever, yada, yada, yada. So we're going to listen to a couple channels real quick. I'm going to share them with you. Hopefully you can hear me okay. And let's get started. Debbie, can you hear okay? All right, then, let's get started. First, we're going to start with CNN, which this was just released, I don't know, 30, 45 minutes ago or an hour. Let's share that. All right, let's begin. Let me mute my mic.
From this 2-page handwritten document that was found on Luigi Mangione's person, what was he writing about?
Well, he was railing against the healthcare industry, which of course fits into the scenario here. He talks about how these parasites had it coming.
Cyber Warrior.
He starts off basically saying, I don't want to cause any trauma, but it had to be done. So a second page really kind of goes into problems with the health industry. He raises the question, why do we have the most expensive healthcare in the world, but we're 42, rated 42 in life expectancy around the world? I can't vet his facts or findings there, but it was talking about the healthcare industry and the need for violence. I mean, especially when you talk about, the opening, which is that it had to be done. These parasites, had it coming. That does kind of fit in what they're talking about. What do we know about this individual? Mr. Mangione is an engineer. He grew up in Towson, Maryland. He's 26 years old. He graduated UPenn in 2020 and then went on to a master's program where he got that master's degree in engineering. And he has addresses, as Shimon said, in Towson, where he grew up, in Philadelphia, where he went to school, in Honolulu, which we're still looking into. But he is strongly believed to be the suspect in this case.
It's incredible.
All right, for those tuning in, get back over here. Put it on pause. All right. Hello, Miss Cyber Warrior, or Mr. Cyber Warrior. I don't know what gender all these people are, but you're welcome to watch this. Okay, there it is, folks, an engineer. So it's very well possible he created his own weapon. That is very possible. If he was an engineer, knew anything about machinery or weaponry, then it is very possible he created his own weapon. And I wonder if it's trackable. If you don't know, if he's an engineer, if he's got access to machinery, and he's producing his own weapons, he might have been producing weapons that are untraceable. We don't know. We know this much. Linguini Maragino was caught. It sounds to me that either he's I wonder if that's anything of a, maybe an Italian background or a Syria or what is it, Lithuanian or something like that? I don't know, maybe. Turkey. I mean, we don't know what his nationality is. Let's continue watching the rest of this video. And CNN will let us know what's going on. We'll move on to the other one where this guy had a manifesto, which they might already talk about that in this video.
Josh Campbell, you're with us now. So much on his person, according to police, from a suppressor to they're saying it's the fake ID they believe that he used at the hostel, the New Jersey fake ID when he was in New York, and then this manifesto talking about why he did this. I mean, that tells you a lot about his maybe expectation that ultimately this was all going to catch up with him, even as he tried to get away.
Yeah, you're spot on. And, you know, sometimes these major incidents that start with a bang end with a whimper. We didn't see a dramatic, police takedown. What we saw is someone eating at a McDonald's who then had the police called on him and apparently taken into custody without incident. And, it's so interesting, John and I have been covering this. There was this consensus in looking at that initial surveillance video from outside that hotel that police weren't dealing with Carlos the Jackal here. I mean, you look at everything from his stance in holding that gun to the type of gun itself, to the mistakes that he had made, apparently leaving behind a water bottle and a burner phone. And so this was a sophisticated job in the sense that it appeared to be planned and then executed. And then he was able to successfully flee and, escape arrest for several days. But when you look at all of that material with him on his person, whenever he is actually taken into custody, someone who had the wherewithal to plan all of this and then to escape several law enforcement agencies would have had to have known that having all of that on his person would implicate him in this crime. As you mentioned, you have the fake ID, an ID that was matching the fake ID he used to check into that hostel. You have the mask that he had that was on these images that have been seen now around the world, and specifically the firearm itself. All of those items could have been ditched along the way as he was trying to escape, but he had them on his person. Of course, we can get into the firearms forensics if you'd like to see how that would actually role here. But when you look finally at the manifesto, that you have to raise the question, is this someone who expected to be caught and didn't mind being caught eventually, particularly if he is someone who was railing against the industry in which this murder victim had worked, to have all that material on you and then to have essentially the motive, laying out the motive in these documents for police to find. Everyone, any good attorney will tell you that the best way to escape any type of serious charge such as murder is to create reasonable doubt, to have no evidence on your person, to try to fight every accusation that comes your way. That much harder when you have all of that with you as you're taken into custody.
Yeah, certainly an intriguing point why he would have that kind of note on him. It speaks to some form of premeditation, at least. Josh Campbell, thank you for that. We also have with us Michael, hired NYPD detective, and on Friday, you talked about how critical DNA evidence would be not necessarily in identifying a suspect.
All right. Wow, this just gets crazy. I posted the CNN channel in my chat. Make sure you check that out, folks. So, did he care if he got caught? Well, probably not. It sounds like someone had to do it. He talked about parasites, that this world is a parasite, people or that company or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. We've heard that before, and this whole world is a parasite. We're parasites. Everybody's a parasite. And, he kept pretty much a journal of this, which is pretty crazy if you ask me. So it's almost like he wanted to get caught. He knew he was going to get caught. Too much evidence out there, right? He left too much evidence out there. And it seems pretty crazy to me that it had to come to this, but I would imagine we'll see more of this because society embraced it. They already have t-shirts out, backpacks with sayings on, hats, t-shirts, you name it, with the sayings of what this guy wrote on the bullet. Now, do we really know his meaning or anything? We don't know. For all we know, there's a lot of people think that was a hit, but the family, they were separated. The wife and him were separated. There's 1,000 scenarios why. Could all this that he did, was that a diversion to lead people away of why he really did it? Supposedly he was denied, he had back problems and he was denied coverage. And that's why he did this. Him himself was denied. He had back problems. Now, if he's got back problems, why is he carrying around a backpack? Why is he doing a lot of stuff? Maybe that's why he had to use the e-bike. Maybe he did use an Uber or whatever from the train station to McDonald's. Maybe he does have a bad back and was denied coverage or whatever, an operation or whatever. Maybe he already got the operation, but the insurance company stiffed him on paying some of it. And that's why he did this. And he's turning it into this big thing. We'll probably be seeing a movie out within a month on either Lifetime, Netflix, whatever. That fast. Boom. Movie made that fast. Boom. And there'll probably be a movie about it and everything, and everybody's already praising the guy because of the Medicare situation or health situation in America. I'm sure he's going to try and make it out to be like the hero. When reality, we know we're getting ripped off, but violence is not the way. Violence is not the way. Right? This is why we need our politicians to fight for the people. And we do know that big business and they do break the laws, and they themselves have been found guilty.